Hello students, welcome to CMIS online classes, and this video is for class 7 chapter number 14 electric current and its effect. So in this session we will talk about a few points regarding electricity. Okay, so we are going to talk about which material conduct electricity and which material doesn't conduct electricity in this session. So let's start the topic. So let's start by the term conduction. Okay, so what do you mean by conduction? Before that, we must know what do you mean by conductors. So substances which allow electricity to pass through them are called conductors. That means the material or the substance through which electricity can easily pass, such as silver, gold, acidic solution, salt solution, etc. Even we can include iron also, okay, in this. So that are called conductors. Then we have insulators. So insulators are substances which do not allow electricity or electric current to pass through them. Okay, that means when you pass electricity through the insulator, they don't transmit electricity. That means no electricity passes through insulators. Example, we have plastics, rubbers, okay, and even wood. Okay, they are insulators. That means if we are in contact with this thing in middle of electricity, then they stop the flow of electric current. But conductors, they conduct electricity. Okay, so conductors and insulators, they are opposite to each other in respect to electricity. Now we will move towards good conductor and bad conductors. So as we know, conductors, those substances which allow electricity to pass through them are called conductors. So similarly, we will talk about good and bad conductors. So substances which allow electricity to pass through them easily, that means there is no breakage of electricity, that means easily the electricity can flow, are called good conductors, such as metals like silver, gold, aluminium, okay, even we have salt water, acidic water, etc. Similarly, some substance allow electric current to pass through them but in very little amount. That means electricity pass through them but not in a easy method. Okay, means a little amount of electricity is passed. Okay, as for example, sometimes we get a quick shock and sometimes we get a light shock, and that is due to the bad conductors and good conductors. So substance which allow electricity or electric current to pass through them but in a very little amount are called bad conductors. Okay, in fact most of these substances allow electricity or electric currents to pass through them under certain conditions. So instead of using term conductors and insulators, good conductors and bad conductors are used. Okay, for electricity or for electric current, we simply use good conductors and bad conductors instead of conductors and insulators. Okay, so let's move to another part, is electrical conductors. So electric conductors are material that allow electric current to flow through them. Okay, that means they allow electricity to pass through them. Some examples are salt water, Metals such as copper, aluminum, even iron also we can include, and non-metals like graphite. They are the example of electric conductors. Okay, we can just see the pictures. We have copper, we have silver, we have aluminum, and even graphite as a electric conductors. So this was all about electrical conductors. Now let's move towards electrical insulators. What do you mean by electrical insulators? So the material that do not allow electric current to flow through them are called electric insulators. As we talk about conductors and insulators, it's similar, only we have put the word electrical. Okay, some examples are plastic, wood, rubber, and glass. Okay, we have mostly seen in various movies or in our locality that people, the electrician who works, they mostly wear rubber gloves. Why so? So that they don't feel any shock due to malfunction of the electricity. Okay, even hood is also used. Okay, so let's have an example here. So let's have an example of a person who is stick to electric shock. Okay, if it's stick to electric shock, it's not okay to pull him with our hands. We also make it a shock because the flow of blood in our body helps electricity to pass. Okay, so instead we use any form of obstacles like a block of wood or some plastic chairs. Okay, we use those things so that we can remove that person from the shock. Okay, so this was all about electrical insulators. Now we will move towards electrical conductivity of solid. Okay, we'll have a figure also, we will discuss later on. So some solids are good conductor of electricity and some solids are poor conductor of electricity. So solids, those are good conductor of electricity are copper, steel, iron, aluminum. Okay, we are not going to include the salt solution because that is not solid. Okay, so if any electricity must be continuous, then these type of solids are mostly preferred. Okay, another one is solids are poor conductors. That means wood, plastic, rubber, glass, as we talked in our previous slides. So let's have a look at this. Okay, here we have battery cells and one end, that is negative end of the battery, is attached with a wire in a hood. Another end, that is positive end of battery, is attached with one end of the bulb and another end is attached to hood. Now we can conclude that in this case the bulb will not glow. The bulb will not glow because wood is a poor conductor of electricity. But instead of wood, if here it is iron, steel or aluminum, what will happen? The bulb will glow. Okay, because they are good conductor of solid good conductors. Okay, then we will move towards electrical conductivity of liquids. So some liquids are good conductor of electricity and some are poor conductor of electricity. It's not that all liquids are good conductor of electricity. Okay, so the liquids that are good conductor of electricity are tap water, that means normal water, what we use in our daily life. Salt solution, that means salt dissolved in water. namak pani you can say. Then hydrochloric acid solution, acid dissolved in water, sodium hydroxide solution, these are also good conductor of electricity. And some liquids are poor conductor of electricity. Examples are distilled water, and distilled water is mostly used in vehicles, okay, to cool the engines or not to get spark in the engine, okay. Then we have sugar solution, that means sugar dissolved in water, kerosene, even spirits, okay. So these are poor conductor of electricity. So let's have a look at the diagram. In left portion, extreme left, we have good conductors. Suppose this is a tap water or salt water, okay, and two iron rods are immersed there, and at the end of each iron rods wire is attached to, one wire is attached to bulb and another is attached to the battery or the cell, and another end is attached to the bulb again. What will happen if we have tap water, salt solution or hydrochloric acid HCl solution? The bulb starts glowing. Why? Because it is a good conductor of electricity. In the opposite way, in the middle one, suppose say it is a sugar solution or distilled water, and same thing is done, okay. Two immersion rod is there, one is attached with bulb, another is attached with the cell battery, and another end of battery is attached with again bulb, because the flow must be closed, okay. So here the bulb will not glow. Why? Because these are poor conductor of electricity. Let's have a look on the extreme right hand side. We have a molten sodium chloride, NaCl, okay. Two metal rods are immersed in a molten sodium chloride, and similarly a wire is attached to one end of the bulb, and another end of the bulb a wire is attached to battery, that is positive terminal, and in the negative terminal the second immersion rod of which is immersed in sodium chloride is attached. What will happen? The bulb starts glowing. And why there is a flame here? Because this flame helps the ions to move quickly so that the bulb glows, okay. So this was all about electrical conductivity of liquids. So here we talked about the flow of electricity, but how this, why in sugar solution or distilled water electricity is not conducted, and why it is conducted in tap water? So in our next slide we will talk about that, and that is due to electrolyte, okay. So what do you mean by electrolyte? A substance which gives ions when melted or dissolved in water is called an electrolyte, okay. As we discussed earlier, that what is the reason that salt solution conduct electricity, whereas distilled water and sugar solution they don't conduct electricity? That is because of the ions present in the water, okay. The iron is most important. They have negative and positive charged ion. So example, we have salt water, then acid water and alkali water. Salt water, sodium chloride solution; acid water, hydrochloric acid solution; and alkali, sodium hydroxide solution. So let's move further. Now we will move towards which liquid is, if liquid is electrified, the reason behind that. As we talked that salt water conduct electric current, because gives it gives iron, okay, or it produce iron. The reason behind that is it contains charged particles, as I told you, negative charge cation, positive charge anion. Okay. Second one is charged particles are free to move through it. That means the charged particles must be free to move through water solution. Okay. Then what do you mean by free moving ions? Okay. So when the ionic bond are broken, there will be free movements of positive and negative ions. This will happen if ionic compounds melts or dissolve in water. But if the ionic compound is not melt and not dissolved in water, what will happen? The ions are not free to move. They are bonded. Okay. So when the electricity is flowed to the electrode, positive ions are attracted to cathode and negative ions are attracted to anode. Okay. The flow of electric charge carried by ions in electrolyte and electron in a connecting wire. That means it requires a medium. It is not that if you touch a salt solution, we will get a shock. No. It requires a greater power of this cell. Okay. So electrolytes which had freely moving ions is able to conduct electricity.